Hi, I'm producer Ivan Katz. From the United States to Europe and all over the world, a favorite pastime has suddenly become the latest rage: poker. From Las Vegas to Atlantic City behind me, many people have chosen to make poker instead of a hobby also a way of living. Join me as we talk to real poker professionals and get their real stories on Real Poker.
It started when I was a kid, this Hong Kong movie called The God of Gambler. It was played by actor Chow Yun-fat.
I have a house, a mortgage, a single mom, custody of my nephews, and I'm doing it by myself, so it was the best way to make the money I needed to make.
I'd always played poker before, but I really started getting serious about it throughout college, and it got, I started reading the books, I started going to casinos more, and by the end of my junior year, I was playing professionally.
I think poker sort of chose me. I used to do it to kill time when I was at work or, thinking around on the computer. I actually won $50,000 in '95, which kind of got me hooked. And, I've been kind of a compulsive gambler anyway for a long time, so I had to find one of the games that could become profitable.
I've been playing poker since I was a child. I played about 12 or 13, me and my brother, and I was always fascinated by cards. I got a mathematical mind.
First time I remember playing, I was 7, and I was visiting my great aunt.
Started at one college, got a soccer scholarship, and hated the school.
She would pay us like $1 to rake leaves in the lawn in the afternoon, and then we would come in, have dinner, and then sit down to a game of poker right after. And I went broke just about every day of my childhood.
Went to another one, started school there, same as everybody, and found internet poker. Started playing that probably 40, 50 hours a week, going to classes, but mostly just focusing on poker. And after that, graduated college and didn't want to get a real job. My buddy and I decided to take a shot down here.
I'm from Sweden, and about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to be a professional poker player. I haven't played poker before, and I had a big company before, and I started working at that company and put $10,000 to see if I could make it to play online.
When they started playing no limit poker in Vegas, it became a lot more profitable. And before that, we were just playing limit, 15-30, 30-60 limit. And it was tough. It was a grind, and you were lucky to make $10 an hour at it.
I've been in the gambling business most of my adult life, and it's embedded in me. So I decided that I was going to play cards after I retired. And unfortunately, my memory and my eyesight was not the same as it was 25 years ago, so I had to got a hold of it.
I moved to LA about 4.5 years ago, 5 years now, and randomly found poker on television and slowly came into the card room. The bicycles where I came first. And a year later I was playing tournaments, and 2 years later here I am working as a No Limit host.
I started playing poker seriously in 1991 when I moved from Atlanta after graduating from Georgia Tech to Northern California in the Palo Alto area. I ran across the casinos very quickly after I moved to Santa Cruz, and just fell in love with the game. I couldn't beat it. I didn't know why I couldn't beat it, so I started playing a lot, and eventually my skills caught up with me, and I was making more money playing 6-12 and 10-20 Texas Hold'em limit back then than I was at my real job as a computer scientist. So I quit my job and started playing pro.
Started out playing blackjack and sports gambling through college. Wasn't very successful at it. So I picked up poker when I was 23 years old. We started playing home games, $1, $2 blinds limit. And we watched the movie Rounders. And we discovered No Limit, so we started playing that. and I quickly learned that I'm pretty good at no limit, so I started playing it a lot and played it online quite a bit.
I'm born and raised in Singapore, and I got into college at GW, graduated with a finance degree. Got a job after graduation at a Fortune 500 company.
I think now, I think this is the opportune time to get into this particular sport, so to speak, because it has become more acceptable, and that's causing a lot of closet poker players or poker gamblers to play more poker. And I think over the last 4 years, because of all the televised poker tournaments, it's become more acceptable to say, hey, I'm a poker player, and everybody says, oh, that's cool, that's cool. Before, it was like, yeah, I play poker, and they're like, yeah, you're a degenerate gambler.
Cash games pay your bills, and they keep you in money, and keep you playing tournament games. But tournament games are where you can really make a big payday.
Beginning of my senior year, I started playing $25 max buy-in tables. Ended up by the end of the semester playing about $400 max buy-in tables. Just slowly building up my bankroll. You know, depositing a bunch of it, just living the college life.
To be a professional player is take around 6 months to be there. But you only make money for living, and it takes maybe 3 years to make money that you can save.
And then when the poker craze started a couple years ago, No Limit started, you know, all of a sudden, all these people came in who had never played before, and all of a sudden I found I was making more like $40, $50 an hour. So I stopped dealing craps and started playing poker.
It is my only income, and it gets stressful. It's emotionally draining at times. It's also very difficult to see myself working for any job that pays even a good hourly wage, because poker is just so much more lucrative.
I'd made some money in the internet in the early 90s and mid-90s, and when I came to start playing pretty much full-time, I had a bankroll. I wasn't ever worried about going broke. I only really play tournaments. I don't play a lot of cash games. And, you know, I could afford to lose. And I think that gave me a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the guys, because, you know, I never really felt the monetary pressure to perform. For me, winning poker tournaments was all about the thrill of competition. It wasn't about paying my bills. And I think, you know, some of the other guys can definitely attest that, you know, it's tough as a professional to make it long term without going through a very significant losing streak. And those losing streaks, when it forces you to have problems with your finances, can be very, very difficult on some professionals, but I never really had to contend with that.
Well, I was doing poker part-time, but in the end I realized that, you know, having a job is costing me too much money. It's more lucrative to focus on poker.
I love the environment. You know what? It's not the money. It's the thrill of the game. It's the environment. It's the people. I'm a fairly antisocial person, but at a poker table, it just comes out more. And another thing is, I don't have to be who I really am. I can invent my own persona, and I may not be the same person if I play at the Borgata or Harrah's. I can be a totally different person. I can play like a scared newbie, and it's fun. Or I could be some outgoing, crazy, reckless hyena that I just bet like crazy. But it's nice. You get a chance to put on that role, and I really like that aspect.
Now, this tournament I just won was $26,000 first place. It was only a $200 buy-in, so I turned $200 into $26,000.
I consider getting a real job, but I look at all my friends at home, and they're making $40,000 a year, so working 60 hours a week, and not for me. You know, I can make 3 times as much as that in a year doing whatever I want.
Well, I play 10 tables at the same time. I have 3 20 inches screens that I play on, so I play on 10 tables at the same time. So I play around 4,000 to 6,000 hands a day. So it's hard to do that in real life.
For me to make a living playing poker, I would make a living playing cash games, 1-2, 2-5, 5-10, no limit hold'em. That's where you increase your bankrolls and you move up, and then you know 10 and a quarter no limit hold'em is a huge game. You need $5,000-$10,000. You know, sitting down on the table, you can roll through a whole bankroll.
I was probably a losing player back then, and I played for 2 years trying to get better, and started playing tournaments, and I actually did well in tournaments. So I played a $39 two-table tournament on PokerStars, and the winner got a seat into the next week's tournament, which is a $615 buy-in. Played that tournament and won that one as well, which gave me a seat into the World Series of Poker.
Sometimes a player has to make a choice between family and the game they love.
I'm currently